The review for Sony's much-awaited Gran Turismo 7 have finally come out, and things are actually looking fairly good. If we look at the actual review numbers, we see a 88, which puts Gran Turismo 7 back in line as one of the de facto sim racing games around. And it's definitely a turnaround for the franchise, who saw some struggles with Gran Turismo Sport being a little bit low scoring, and some of the previous Gran Turismo games not achieving the heights of the original PlayStation and PlayStation 2 games. People looked at the PS3 and PS4 Gran Turismo games as taking a step back, and it looks like Gran Turismo 7 might be taking a step forward again, which is good news for longtime racing fans and good news for the brand itself. Now, the thing is, of course, it's going to draw comparisons. Now, people are going to want to compare it to the Xbox equivalent of a sim racing game, which is going to be Forza Motorsport. The last Forza Motorsport game was 5 years ago, believe it or not, was at the launch of the Xbox One X, and that game was kind of a mess and still scored an 86, but was a little bit of a disappointment for longtime fans of the Motorsport series. Now, obviously, 5 years later, we'll probably get a new Motorsport game towards the end of this year. But what's that going to mean long term? It's hard to really say. Obviously, with the Xbox being the only version, there's not going to be a last-gen version, whereas with Gran Turismo 7, there is a last-gen version. How much that affects it, it's hard to say. But fans are talking about this because, obviously, even though that would be the proper comparison, a lot of people are having a comparison between Gran Turismo 7 and Forza Horizon 5, and I wanted to get into it because I thought that it was a very, very hot topic and kind of give my 2 cents on exactly what I thought, because I feel like everybody's going to have some type of opinion on this stuff, and so I might as well chime in with mine, right? It's going to be a good topic you're not going to want to miss. Hey there, everyone. I'm the Crap Gamer, and of course, this is Crap Gamer Reviews, your home for gaming news, opinions, reviews, and much more. You'll probably notice some changes around here, but that shouldn't stop you from giving us a like and possibly even consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some of your free time with me today. It means a lot. I know how busy you all are, but the fact that you spend some time with me means everything. And if you do watch the videos, why not go ahead and leave a like? That's pretty much all I ask. It helps the channel to be seen, helps the videos to be seen, and really just means a lot to me personally, so thank you guys so much. Now, listen, Gran Turismo 7 is scoring fantastically well. It's got 75 critic reviews right now, sitting at an 88 Metacritic score. All the reviews, for the most part, are positive. There's only a few mixed reviews, but that seems to be the way with racing games, right? And I hate to draw a correlation between something like this and Elden Ring, right? Like, Elden Ring only has, I think, 50 some reviews, and it seems like the people that get the review codes are like huge Souls fans, whereas racing games, everybody kind of gets a code for that when it comes down to like the reviews. You might not even be a racing fan, so it's always one of those weird situations where you kind of look at things and you go, oh well, you know what, that's a sort of a strange situation there, but listen, this stuff is going to keep happening. People are going to keep comparing these video games, comparing it against, which right now Gran Turismo 7 is an 88 with 75 review scores, and if we look at Forza Horizon 5, over 100 critic scores, and it sits at a 92. So that's incredible when you think about it, with 0 mixed or negative reviews. So there is 103 positive reviews for Forza Horizon 5. Now, these are completely different types of games and probably shouldn't be really compared, but a lot of people, believe it or not, kind of look at Forza Horizon, and you know what? I think that, honestly, it's okay to compare these games, but I think that overall, Forza has been a mainstay in quality for a long time right now. So a lot of PlayStation fans are saying that there's, some media bias and things like that. I'm not sure that I believe in media bias. I think that, I think there's some favoritism at times, but I don't think it's like outright bias. I honestly think this is a return to form for Gran Turismo, and people should really be happy and thrilled with the way that that the review scores went. But the problem is, when you're like a PlayStation fan and you've built up everything on getting a higher score than the competition, it looks a little bit bad when you see stuff like this pop up, because obviously the competition is doing like racing games to the extreme, and obviously, we're going to keep seeing, the Forza series continue to score incredibly well. So I'm not saying for sure like, hey, well, there's some kind of thing going on here, or there's some kind of bias going on here, but it is very interesting to see so many of the like so-called fans and stuff kind of talk about this and bring it up, especially when Microsoft and Sony themselves have even mentioned that these are kind of different types of games and things like that. So I think personally, I would say forget talking about the Xbox and PlayStation and going, oh, well, which one's better? And just start enjoying the game, because instead of focusing on it being a few points lower than Forza Horizon 5, why not just go, hey, well, this is a hell of a lot higher of a score than, GT Sport. That's probably something that I would kind of bring up, because, look, GT Sport, for instance, was a game that scored a 75, right? Think about that for a second. GT Sport scored a 75. Gran Turismo 6 was an 81. Gran Turismo 5 was an 84. So you have a game that has really kind of pushed the limits, and they've really kind of taken back to where they used to be in terms of like game quality and things like that. They're doing such a fantastic job with this stuff, and I think that's what we should celebrate as fans and say, hey, you know what, wow, what a return to form for Gran Turismo 7 to come back from a 75 and score 13 points higher than the last racing game that they released. I think that really just goes to kind of show that they definitely are on the right track. And listen, it's another high scoring banger from PlayStation's first party. Their first party seems to be on a roll, and that's exactly what I think fans have been asking for. They're like, here we are in year 2, and it's another almost 90 rated game from the first party. So I think that should be celebrated instead of really compared and kind of put up against the Forza Horizons of the world. In my humble opinion, anyway, I just feel like that's something that clearly us as fans kind of look at and we go, oh, you know what, that's something strange that it's maybe a few points lower. Listen, when we get into this pissing contest, that tends to happen. I think we should definitely kind of take a step back and kind of and look at things and just go, hey, you know what, but still kudos to that team, because I feel like when we take the onus off that and start putting it on, oh, well, it didn't score as much as this or that. I feel like at that particular point that we do start to kind of look at these things and go, you know what, it's crazy to say it, but maybe we shouldn't be, talking about this stuff the way that we are, and what I mean by that is like focus on the scores instead. We should focus on the games themselves, because I think that that's exactly what we should be focusing on. So, it's just one of those crazy things. Like I said, I think that the game is really, really good. I think that the game is going to be, looked at as a return to form for PlayStation, for the Gran Turismo series, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the future has. I want to play the game, and I think that obviously a lot of people are going to play it. This is a hugely successful and sought-after game, and I think people are going to be sharing a lot of screenshots and things like that. I think it's going to be very well received by fans, obviously. I mean, listen, it's a completely different type of game than Horizon, so I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, you're going to expect 18 million people to play it the way that Horizon did. Horizon, again, is a game that's in Game Pass, and I think that maybe that helps debunk a little bit that everything is going to be like lackluster in Game Pass, or everything's going to be, something not worthwhile simply because it's in Game Pass. Like Horizon 5 is definitely the epitome of quality, and when we see that in Game Pass, it's easy to just sit there and go, hey, you know what, this is incredible to see, and they've done such a fantastic job with it, and it's actually scoring better and looked at as a higher quality than what Sony has done with a full $70 game But like I said, it's foolish to kind of compare the things, but I'm sure some people will. So might as well talk about it a little bit anyway. With that being said, I want to take a minute to say thank you guys so much for rocking out with me. You guys are amazing. If you do enjoy the content, please hit the like button, share it out. If you subscribe, make sure you guys go ahead and, if you do subscribe, make sure you guys go ahead and go out there and hit the bell so you're notified of all the content as soon as it drops. It's much appreciated. God bless. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up, crap gamer out.